everybody, welcome in. I should probably unplug this so I get a little more slack here. Hold on. Welcome in, and if you don't know what you're looking at Roger from Mudfossil University, and I love this man, and I do. I actually recently came across someone, I don't even know if he knows how much he is helping others, excuse me, grasp the level and the concept of how sacred this world is. Um, it's a corpse. So, and again, I'm not sure, like, I mean, maybe he has an idea how much he is touching others' lives, right? Because he really should be, honestly, his work should be taught everywhere, shared everywhere for all to grasp what we're living on. Maybe they would honor it more. We're in a graveyard. I mean, we really are. And so I came across someone posted. I came to his defense. I basically came to his defense, whether he realizes it or not. I feel very protective of him. And I came across, I think it might have been on Facebook. I don't really go on Facebook a lot. But sometimes I just, check out, I like to see who else maybe woke up, who's awake. I research everything everywhere. I don't keep myself limited. I try not to anyway. Someone maybe it was Instagram. Either way, they were putting him down, and because they couldn't grasp, because they could not grasp what he was simply. I feel he really explains what we're living on so well that, like, how can you not grasp what he's saying? And it's not just he's saying it, he proves it. And someone was really, because you always get the jerks out there, and they just are, it takes all kinds to make the world go around, right? But they were really putting him down, I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I feel very protective of him. And because I believe him, I'm not just believe, I know what he's saying is true. And I love that he uses Christ as well. He just, he backs up everything. He takes the text. And, Christ did say exactly where we are. And for some reason, I don't know how that got distorted, but it did. Oh, wait a minute, the educational system, that's who distorted it. And people who are just don't grasp or whatever, but you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to. And this was just mean-spirited. I really just like mean-spirited people. I mean, they were just really putting it. It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. So I popped on, and I don't comment a lot, and I really don't on much at all. And I just was like, boom, 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 boom. I don't even know what I said, but I mean, I wasn't disrespectful, but I was just like, excuse me? Do you, just because you don't grasp what he's saying, it was just very low vibrational. So that, and I feel like Roger's probably used to that, because, I mean, he deals with scholars that are kind of pissed at him because, he's kind of calling out their lies, pretty much. So anyway, this was just like, the world is a corpse in a body, and we are light, said Christ in the Nag Hammadi text, and I like to read all these different texts, not just King James Version, and not just the Sumerian. I know I talk a lot about the Sumerian text, but I read a lot of different things. Maybe I should talk about that sometimes too. It just sometimes it feels like whatever is going on, it kind of goes back to that. Not trying to do that, it just kind of does that. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Anyway, like I'm reading the Sophia Code, the Divine Sophia, who's a dragon. And then, and then the biology around us, that was filming in the sky, that, and that's so weird. It's not weird, I shouldn't say it like that. It's so interesting that people still can't grasp. Like they just think it's air. It's still and it's honestly, it is, but it isn't. It's consciousness, and it brings it back to like if you hold your breath, and if you hold your breath long enough, you lose consciousness. Your heart's still beating, your lungs are still breathing, but you lose consciousness. So we're really breathing in consciousness, even though there's air, and we're in water. So anyway, I'm going to just play a little bit of what he's talking about. And this reminds me of the mud. Oh, look at that. I mean, we can even see the beings in there. Hi, Mindy. So reminds me of the mud flats. Let me just get a little more comfortable. Mud flats on the ocean. And, the ocean is a big, filter system. And that's why it stinks so bad. And over the years, I don't know if y'all like, some of you live by the ocean or not, but I love the ocean. I'll probably die by the sea, and I'm okay with that. I've come, I love the ocean. And I've noticed over the few decades I've been here, the changes in the smell, which is telling. So, it's like, okay, is she decomposing? And this is why earthquakes are happening. I feel like it's probably multiple things. Like clearly, like she's decomposing, or she regenerating, and things are moving around that are inner earth. Because if you watch things on caves, what I do, I watch everything. Pretty much it has to do with earth. I don't know. I love the cave stuff. And I've always been fascinated with caves, and that's why I never believe we're on a round ball zooming through space, and that it's this solid thing. It's a fossil, and I got shown. I was given the gift to see. I feel like by Divine Mother, Earth, Kai, Pachamama, Tiamat, of what, and that's why I think I had shared that, like, she's a beautiful golden dragon, and she's very self-sustaining. She's beautiful. She's not just golden, like she changes color. She's beautiful, like in her original form. And once upon a moon, I mean, she was absolutely, that's why these Sumerians were drawn to her, for her gold, her golden light, for her light, like just like a narcissist. Okay, these Sumerians are just like narcissists out there. take, right? Use you, abuse you, and then see ya. And she showed me in a vision, and it was just so beautiful. Like I got it. Like I really grasped like what this place is. And they're not teaching us that in the educational system, right? But I feel like there's also a part of her, because because she did. So, I mean, and I've shared it before, I guess I'll just share it again too, like how she showed me, I feel it's true or else I wouldn't have seen it, that, that whole like hell freezes over thing, right? And whether it's Nibiru or the Draconians or however that happened, all right, with the Kuiper Belt, she showed me how she was, or Marduk, basically, if that's written true, Marduk severed her. But it was like she was putting it like in a suspended animation. And I was like, wow, I understood that. In how we're seeing, how we're shifted, like our perspective, whatever these lizard things, whatever, Dracos, Illuminati, really Sumerians that fell, Enlil, Set, to trick humanity, to shift us in a different perspective so that we're not really truly seeing the lands that we're in, that we're on. Except for now we do. Like, this is why a lot of us film and maybe, or don't film. You don't have to film or anything like that, but you're grasping, right? You're really grasping at what this place is. And when you lay down at night, that's the way to really see it. That's the pole shift, right? So her caps are cold, right? Like it got snow caps, right? So that would be like a put her to sleep. She was put to sleep. She was held hostage against her will. And because of that, from what I'm understanding, she's decomposing because they have, I'm going to cry. I'm trying not to. Wow, I can't, this is surprising me. Because they have taken so much from her fossil fuels, what we call fossil fuels, which right there should tell everybody on planet Earth where you are. Fossil fuel right there says it all. They just have taken everything, take, when you don't need to. The sun is sustaining. I was shown how it didn't rain here, right? There wasn't that, the weather we have, that wasn't like that. It was sunny, and then at night, the dew, just the dew of the sun setting was enough water to sustain the creatures here, right? The beings here. So this is why, like, this is such a false construct. And whatever they did, because, and I have done a lot of, well, I was guided to it, to be honest with you, with the draconians of what they do to these titans, right? She's a god. We're on a god, if you will. And what they do, and they go in, and what they do is they take everything, that they strip it. Basically, they strip it, they mine it for whatever their reason, and colonize it and take over because they want control, and puts this god titan to sleep. And my feeling is some of the stuff that we're seeing and that we're filming is her coming back together. And I weirdly feel like that would be the Christ rising. I just, believe it or don't, it's all good with me. This is just how I'm understanding it and what Mother Earth like really shows me. And I couldn't come up with this on a good day, ever. And it makes sense to me because some of these mountains are going, whether it's in our lifetime or our children's lifetime or the next generation, I feel like our lifetime though, some of these mountains are going to stand up and people are going to really poop their pants. And I'm just saying they're going to really poop their pants because of Ra being here. All right. And whether maybe Nibiru too, but something to do with because Ra is here. I feel like Ra is here for her. Just like I feel like Osiris was really here for her, right? He tended her garden, right? He was all about permaculture. This is why I don't understand, and I'm not trying to impugn anyone's belief system out there at all. This is not what this is about. But I don't understand how some are saying that Osiris was so negative when it was very lush, plush, bountiful when he, whether he ruled or when he was here, let's put it that way. When Osiris was here, he tends her lands. Like, they tend this titan. They tend this god, if you will. And Set had his own agenda. And I feel like whatever's going on, I sense that it does have absolutely a lot to do. And I've talked about this a lot about Osiris and Isis. And I trust the message I got back in 2020 that Osiris returns on Isis's wings. And I feel like somehow Ra, and I know because we're in a 3D, we're like this three-dimensional thing. It's not one or the other, but Ra is Isis too. Like, They're not just one thing. I don't feel like they're one thing. I feel like they're multiple beings at the same time. Um, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, it's okay. I'm not for you. But so I'm gonna play a little bit of what Raj is showing here because I love this man. I could sit and talk to him for days with tons of questions. I would love to know what he thinks about these caves. Like, because I watch a lot of, I watch a lot of cave videos. These young men that, God bless them, they go into these places. I would have a panic attack. And like, I don't even know, but your body gets used to probably going through it when when you do this kind of thing. You know what I mean? But, just like if you dive, no different. But, when those go divers and stuff like that. So, anyway, I would love to know like what those formations are. These young men, I shouldn't say they miss a lot because maybe they just don't publicize it, and they might not. Some things they do show, like they show the crystals that they find, and it's all crystals in there. And that's when I was shown like the mud flood covered her, what we call crystals, and if that was really exposed to the light, which I feel like that's what's going on with the shift here, she glows. And I said this a long time ago, all crystals really glow. They really do. They're just dormant and asleep right now. So I would love to hear like, well, what body part is that, Roger? Oh, what is this formation? Like, what do you think that body part is? Because I want to understand deeper. Because I understand I totally understand what we're on, as much as I can, anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I know we're on a god, if you will. Primordial. Actually, we're on the primordial mother. We really are. And she was severed and split apart. And she, like, just from how she showed me, put in, like, a suspended animation. Like, the Kuiper belt keeps her trapped because it's iron. How do you trap a dragon with iron? And you do. That's how you trap a dragon. And they show us in so many things. I mean, if that was removed, and the more, like, research I'm doing, just, not even research, I'm just guided to things. And I read what I'm guided to read. And I'm like, oh, there's the answer. Wow, thank you. And I love that. Like, I love that. And I read a lot of different things, not just about the Sumerians and stuff like that. I read a lot of different things, but clearly I'm in school I read about drugs too. Because, I'm understanding what they're doing to people out there on so many levels. Yeah, look at Peekaboo. Sorry, I had to add that in there. Other people won't understand, but I know you all will. Some of my folks will. And it's not really funny, but it is. And it just shows, even at that level, the oh God, the stuff that they're using, that's pesticides. It's just so, anyway, I want to get off topic. So I just want to play a little bit of Raja, and I felt very protective of him, and I really kind of let someone, have it with my smarts, always with my smarts, never like disrespect, not that, I'm not disrespectful, I'm not like, I can be a little go fuck yourself. I can, depending on what the situation is. But, like, I'd rather hit you with my smarts. Because then it's like, okay. Can't really argue with that. Well, people can. People just are where they are. And I truly, for the most part, respect that. But do not disrespect this man for what he is teaching. Not only teaching, he's showing, and he's proving. Proving. Nobody else out there is. To my knowledge, nobody else out there is discussing Earth like he is. And this isn't like putting him on a pedestal. And it's true. That's the best part, is what it's not because I like Rod. It's like, oh my, like, it just makes sense. It's like easy peasy lemon breezy. Oh my God, it's right in our face. And it is when you look around, like, yeah, we're in a graveyard. So are we the go? That's why like I bring it back to when I've done some EVPs out on like public investigations, and I love blowing people's mind when I say like, so are we the ghost? Are we the ghosts here? Are we the spirits here? Because you should never tell by the way a spirit. You should never ask a spirit if they know they're dead. I'm just saying. If you ever do that, please don't do that. We're the dead ones. We're the dead ones. Just food for thought. Believe it or don't, it's all good. So let's hear what Roger has to say. I hope he doesn't mind, Fair Use Act 1976, for those of you in the back that like to put your little comments in about whatever you say that I delete. There we go.
Hills and valleys, so to speak. Now, I say no. I think this is biology.
It is biology. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm going to pause for a second. You ever see dendritic quartz, the dendrites? These are like dendrites. These are like our nerves in our body. That's what it reminds me of, like our nerve endings, right? The little synopsis at the end. She still has nerve endings. I'm just seeing it on a vaster scale. Right now, these are more like these dendrites like we have in our brain and, again, our whole nervous system. And so, hold on. I'm a little bit older than you. The bicentennial.
And this is a transition between expended blood, which is the black blood, which has the oxygen out of it, and the red blood, which is the iron oxygen-rich blood.
And that's what's been in our sky.
And this is also part of the fluid system of the body, and I believe this is the serum area, which is a little different. It's more of a lymph fluid. It's a pinky fluid. When you look at these things carefully, you can see this is not just accidental runoff of whatever. You got to understand the chemistry and the plumbing of the body and everything.
Anatomy and physiology.
All right, this is transition chemistry in the body of Typhon. And where is it in the body of Typhon? Well, it's right here. Right here. Now, that's that Dade's gorge they're talking about with all those fingers. I believe that's got something to do with the digestive system. But down here, I believe this is the heart right here. That's the two valves of the heart, and this is the plumbing that runs up through the body from the heart. Now, of course, it's not a normal creature. It's a gigantic dragon. So I don't have all kinds of specifics on it, but to me, it looks like this is the vein blood area. Very dense muscle walls and a chamber.
And we live on it. Like, who thought that was a good idea? Yeah, let's put humanity on a dead corpse. Oh, sorry, God, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Like, what that right there blows my mind. Like, what kind of concept is that? That's a concept right there. That's a concept. We're on a corpse that is, it just blows my mind. It'll never not blow my mind. If it stops, and I don't know. But that, like, and then they don't, that's the deception of how we're angled here, meaning how you walk around, drive around, and how the lands look like they're laying asleep, right? The mountains are sleeping, right? Because most people wouldn't realize, because if we were the other way, we'd be realizing like, whoa, we're in the land of dang giants, which we're realizing now we're in the dang giants. We're in the bones of giants. We're in the land of sleeping giants. Some of these giants, whatever happened here, were whether frozen or heated in what's that? Suspended animation, if you will. Who was that turned people? Medusa turned people into salt, right? Like that. Who's to say with Ra here now, and even Nibiru here, because King Anu is here, that isn't going to wake this stuff up. And so I'm going to be like, people are going to really poop their pants because they've been asleep. They think whatever they think. And this is just my take on it, is we don't know. We have been the best kept secret. And what is ascension, right? I feel ascension is leaving this body. Or maybe the body comes with us, you know what I mean? But we're gonna, you leave in the meat suit, overcoming the meat suit. And that goes back to the scales of Ma'at with Anubis, right? Because Anubis is here too. And, you know, weighing your soul against Ma'at's feather, right? How much of your soul are you honoring versus the three-dimensional world? Are you honoring the three-dimensional world more than your own soul? And that can be people, places, and things, right? Things that take us out of our spirituality, or are you feeding your soul, right? Feeding the soul. That's, to me, what the true scales of, like, Ma'at is about, with Anubis, and then Amet. You know, and again, I feel bad for some of these. I actually do. Some of these, whatever they are here, these narcissists that do heinous things to children and so on and so forth, right? And these fallen ones that we call stars here, they will meet Anubis, and they will. And that's not a theory at all. They will meet Anubis. I personally don't fear Anubis at all. I've shared that I feel he's one of my guardians, in all honesty, and along with a few others. But I'm not doing anything. I honor thy soul. You know, I show respect. I don't disrespect. And I really believe that these people out here that whatever aren't doing a level of, you know, I'm talking heinous stuff, are going to meet Anubis. That's why Anubis is here, you know. And good luck to them. That's all I got to say. So anyway, I just want to share a little bit more because I love this guy. I hope to have a conversation with him one day.
And this is the other chamber, which is the red.
Kind of reminds me of lungs.
The black and the red. And
but I see the heart.
Ventricle walls between them. What's going on here? I don't know.
Oh, ho. Boom. See it? Looks like almost like a funky doodle beard. The eye socket and the nose. It's interesting how that is. I find that fascinating. And it's not pareidolia, by the way. Hold on. Let's go back to that real quick.
The ventricle walls between them. What's going on here? I don't know.
Right there. See that? See that face? I do. Anyway, it looks like a bun of hair. Like hair right here, a bun, the eye and the nose. It looks like the, oh God, the Davy Jones locker from Pirates of the Caribbean. The dude with all the tentacles on his face, it kind of reminds me of that as well. And I believe that somehow makes up, I don't know, I'm not even gonna go there right now because I can't explain it well, but yes, it does look like lungs. Yes, I agree.
It's pretty interesting looking. Maybe a heart surgeon would have some idea of what this is at the very bottom of the heart. But again, this is not your standard biology.
No, it's not.
But I believe those are the two chambers of the heart. And that's where all the blood pumps up and spreads out. And this is the return, one way or the other. And this is a bunch of bleed off.
And that's what we call.
Run out of there.
It's so weird. That's what we call Indian dirt. You remember that as a kid? For some of you, it was called Indian dirt. It's not really Indian dirt. So I think this hasn't been that long ago. Because I remember when I was a kid in the 70s, and the town I lived in, I knew something happened there. I didn't know what, like a great battle. I was, well, no, I'm not strange, but some people would think I'm strange. I could feel the rocks. I could sense the trees. I could sense the rocks. Some of the rocks were, and I knew they were bones. Some of the rocks were mad, sad. They held emotion. I could feel that. I could feel flowers. I could hear the flowers. I could hear the trees. Um, and there was a lot of Indian dirt. And of course, I'm on Wampanoag land. And I always felt like whatever happened wasn't as long ago as they say, because the dirt was red. It's not so much now, X amount of decades later. But and then, you know, to kind of back that up, the battlefield in Pennsylvania, after that took place, people were getting sick because of the blood that was seeping in the earth from the battle, from the people who, you know, their demise was affecting the water, and people were getting sick from it, unbeknownst to them, and then they were figuring out it was due to that. So it's you know, I really, everything I say, I really can back it up, and it's not that far of a stretch. It's just whether one can grasp or not, you know. And I like that he keeps going back to Typhon, you know, because and he did, I don't know, I know, Mindy, you watch him too. If you remember, he was talking about the 7 dragons that make up the continent, but the United States is a turtle. Well, I'm not saying there aren't dragons in the United States, but it's a turtle. It's Turtle Island. And why are we here? Like, why are we on corpses? It's really kind of freaky. YouTube just kicked you off? That is weird.
It's just sort of, because red, it stays very fluid. So the red will run out, and the black just hardens up. That's the difference. It's called hematite and magnetite. They're both
Crystals.
iron rich, but one of them has less oxygen, and that's this one, the black. And things don't grow there. They just don't grow well in that kind of black, iron rich stuff. Normally in the red, it grows pretty good. I'm surprised not to see a bunch of things growing here. Because usually you see all kinds of things growing, which is intrigues me a little bit.
Oh, did you see that outline? Hold on.
Growing.
Hold on.
Which.
Oh. Hold on. Oh, sorry.
Is intrigues me a little bit.
Look at the outline. See the outline right there? That just amazes me.
Yeah.
It's fascia and
Look at those.
blood and stuff. Look at that. Wow. Really big ant holes.
It's like in the arteries or whatever these things are.
Yeah, that's huge. Wow. And we walk on it.
Blood cells, for all I know. I mean, the size of the creature is staggeringly large. And this is absolutely some kind of blood vessels or something, which is probably the coating of the heart. The coating of the heart is so covered with blood vessels. I'm sure that's what it is now that I'm thinking about it. And
oh, wait a minute.
it's probably the coating of the heart.
What was that?
The coating of the heart is so covered with blood vessels. I'm sure that's what it is now that I'm.
Look at that. Look at this. There's something here. Right in here. Look at that. You seen that? There's something there. And then look at, I see a nose pushing through with eyes, but there's something really buried under there. Ooh, I wonder what that is. Could be a pyramid, absolutely. There's big mud flood, absolutely. Wow. Okay.
Thinking about it. And whether it wrapped around here and broke open, or I don't know. You know what I mean? It's hard to say, but you can see the separation of the black and the red. And that's exactly what you're going to see. And you're going to see all that little vascular network completely surrounding the heart. I mean, it's just intense with, well, let me show you. The more I look at this, I think these are the three valves that come up the top of the heart. So
Yeah, someone else posted, maybe it was you that posted it, about that, a face in the moon. I feel like someone else did though too. I was gonna screenshot it, but I was like, I don't know. I know I share a lot of things, but I don't share everything. But there was like a big face in the moon. What I find interesting, oddly enough, is I'm coming across some of these videos, and it's cool. Finally, people are seeing. They're like, when has the moon been doing that? You know how the light is on the bottom. It's like since like 2008, 2009, it's been doing that. It started around then, like way back. But they're waking up. That's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. But I just get a kick out of it. I just get a kick out of it because everything in there is everybody wakes up in their own time, so to speak, or has the God creator of all that is will wake you up, whoever you are out there, when you're meant to, and it's unavoidable, and maybe some just don't. I don't know, but the divine will definitely especially the star seeds, continue to wake up the star seeds, because the star seeds definitely have an internal clock that, like, hello, wake up, and you start realizing and seeing way differently than you did before, and it's ever evolving and ever changing, and it's really a lot of different things. A sit you down moment, breaking down of your reality moment, a rising up moment, mostly a rising up moment, and then really a power of now moment of, like, this for me, that's why I feel so protective of Raja, and then I'm very protective of the lands around here. I heal them everywhere I go, and I really do. I heal them because I know what happened here, and they're just digging up everything everywhere, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And the tribes are standing up, and they're having their civil rising, because the four nations have to rise together, and they're not. They keep leaving the Native Americans out. They keep leaving the tribal council out, and tribal councils are standing up and fighting back. But it's just like, I look around and I get it, I really, but that's me. I'm very deep. I'm really deep, and I care, and I feel Roger really. I mean, like, this should be taught to kids, so the kids understand. I think there'd be a lot more respect. I'm not saying all kids are disrespectful. Please don't think that. I just feel that they would have a different appreciation and respect and honor of, if they understood, like, you live on a Titan with other Titans that are here too, and we're in a graveyard, and these are all body parts. They're not going to teach that. And I don't think that there's molten lava in the middle of the earth. I really don't. But that's just my take on things. But his stuff should be, I don't want, I guess, taught, maybe, for lack of a better way of saying it, everywhere. So that this next generations, he's important to the future generations. He's important to our generation right now. He's important. He's an important piece. So, we're just gonna finish this up a little bit.
The heart is down below there, and these are the tubing that comes off, running out of there.
Have a good night.
And this is the surrounding tissue that wraps around
Thank
that
you.
investment of tubing.
Be safe out there.
And then you got all that muscle surrounding, and this is basically muscle. That's what I was wondering about. I said, boy, this is crazy.
Muscle and
Because
fascia.
as far as I'm concerned, that is from muscle, and I'll show you why I can say that. And that muscle in the heart is so. Well, your heart does this 24 hours a day. There's just nothing but muscle. And then it's fed with tons of blood. You need tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of blood to pump the blood in your heart. That's what, for sure.
Fast forward that.
Oh, you got to check this out. As I was saying, I think these might be the actual tubes that come out, all three of these.
Where the
That's
arteries
the
go in.
normal in the heart. Now, you got your red, you got your black, you got yellow colors, you got your tubing coming out there, big tubing. Now, look at this. This is what a heart looks like. Now, it breaks right, there's a seam right there that break off, and the top pops right off. And you see that.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it there. You can check out his video. I put it in the community. But I just wanted to just do a little bit of a closer look with Raja and share, like, how he just gets attacked. And that even shows, like, I'm sure he knows he gets attacked too, but like it just shows what he's doing is, it's true what he's showing, or else why would you attack him? And some people just don't want to grasp, and they want to believe the lie, and that's on them. But we're not here to do that to people. And I felt very protective of him, so I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a closer look and share. On my take on this Titan that we're on. I hope you all have a beautiful night, and peace be with you.